Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Joint Staff Annual Award Ceremony recognizes individuals who have demonstrated the highest standards of professional conduct, personal integrity, and initiative while making sustained and outstanding contributions to the Joint Staff mission. These awards highlight those who have most significantly supported the accomplishments of the United States Armed Forces and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in his role as the Principal Military Advisor to the President, the Secretary of War, and the National Security Council. Today's event honors the 2025 nominees and winners in the categories of Enlisted Service Member, Senior Enlisted Service Member, Civilian, and Action Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome General Kane.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this incredible ceremony honoring some incredible people. Today is our opportunity to say a sincere and heartfelt thank you. Thank you to some incredible folks who make us better every day and some incredible nominees. I want to welcome my fellow senior leaders today, the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the JDIRS, other directorates, SEAC, ISOM, teammates across the enterprise, those out there in streaming space, but most importantly, the families and friends of our nominees and our award winners. Here on the Joint Staff, and I acknowledge my bias, but having seen each and every one of you in action, there is no doubt that you are the best in the world at what we ask you to do. And you deliver every single day with quiet professionalism and execution that just outscales the asks that we make of you every single day. You help me do the difficult, and that is to provide best military advice, options, and associated risks to the Secretary, the National Security Council, and the President at an incredibly delicate and dynamic time. And you do it every single day as quiet professionals. You do it not alone, but with the help of your families, and it's incredibly humbling for the SEAC, the Vice, and I to be a part of your team and serve each and every one of you. The judges for this year's work had an incredibly difficult task ahead of them, trying to choose the very best of the best. And each and every one of our nominees, our finalists, and our winners today represent that difficulty in that choice. So if you're a finalist today, know how much we appreciate you, we commend you, we thank you, and we're proud of each and every one of you. Let's give a round of applause for our finalists today. Thank you. Today's awardees stand out amongst these incredible people. Again, referencing the difficult choice that our judges had, I want to highlight each of them this year. First, our enlisted member of the year, Staff Sergeant Jamil Zubair, overhauled our POW MIA accountability system so that our personal recovery teams would be ready in the event of a large-scale conflict. A series specialist by trade, I note the importance of that career field's work over this last weekend as we watched two isolated personnel successfully evade and find themselves, thanks to the training that folks like you give, in a position to be recovered. Jamil's supported by his amazing wife, Emily, who's at home today with their 4 amazing kids, Hazim, Isaiah, Elwin, and Lena, who all support you. My friend, you've done so much to advance our most sacred obligations, bringing every single person home. I often ask our team to be relationship entrepreneurs, and you are an amazing example of that. You brought together 42 distinct offices over the last year, 11 interagency partners to streamline those personal recovery plans. You didn't just fix a process, you built a coalition, you built a team, and even helped our NATO partners to set up their own planning efforts. Your work, Jamil, has had profound impact. It ensures that on a day where terrible things happen, we have a system that's ready to go to answer and bring forward and bring home those folks and provide answers to our waiting families. You've given our forces and those who love them a greater measure of confidence on what could be a very bad day. You are exactly the kind of non-commissioned officer that our joint force needs. Jamil, thank you. And Emily, please extend our thanks to her and your kids for this incredible effort that you've had over this last year. And congratulations on being an award winner. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next award winner is Senior Master Sergeant Megan Schutte. Megan led 85 high-level congressional briefings on SOUTHCOM, U.S. Southern Command, including orchestrating 20 congressional briefings in 3 months. Megan is joined here today by her incredible husband, Zach, and her mom and dad, Mike and Diane, who came down from St. Louis, I just learned about, for this great event today. Megan, your role placed you this year at the very center of the United States' actions and oversights. You helped us communicate to Congress and build trust and confidence in what U.S. Southern Command was doing on one of our most sensitive and important operations this year. With remarkable calm, grace, and accuracy, you built and continue to build trust between the military and our elected officials by translating every day the complex and dynamic into things that our nation's leaders in the legislative branch can understand and frankly hold us accountable to. When I asked your teammates to describe you, the words came flawlessly and quickly: simply extraordinary. She punches well above her weight. She's the calm center in a storm around us who helps organize our team every single day. In a high-stakes environment, she is the one who ensures the mission gets done with efficiency and precision. Mike, Diane, you can be proud of your daughter's work, her efforts and activity. She is exactly the kind of human you would hope that she is. And she's an extraordinary non-commissioned officer within our joint force and within our Air Force. And Zach, thank you for all that you've sacrificed to support her. We are deeply grateful for all of you, and congratulations to you, Megan. Our civilian of the year is Mr. Matthew Gurniak. Matthew represents both the best of our worlds, a 10-year Army veteran who continues to serve as a member of the DC National Guard, an organization I know quite well, and as a civilian powerhouse within our J5. A man who's led a comprehensive review of America's Joint Unified Command Plan. He's joined today by his incredible wife, Christy, who also herself serves at the National Institute of Health, doing research on gene therapies. I could not be more grateful for that. I am also not going to attempt to describe your work as the 2.3 GPA student that I am. Last year, I tasked and gave the J5 a difficult assignment. Evaluate the comprehensive unified command plan and to come back to me with options on what right may look like to achieve unity of effort and unity of command against the global set of challenges that we're facing. I asked difficult questions. Are we properly organized for a global conflict? What are we doing to optimize current structures so that we're ready if called upon? It's a task that required deep analysis, candor, creative, diabolical, thoughtful, innovative approaches. Matthew, you led that charge. You led it well. Your team delivered an honest, clinical, unflinching look at how to improve our joint force. And then right in the middle of this work, you were called to deploy with the Guard. Your mind never left the J5 team. You knew how important this was, so much so that you made a request to leave your deployment, not for personal reasons, but to come back and work on the strategic things that we asked you to do in your civilian life. You represent that tenacity of members of our reserve component who are tasked to have civilian jobs that are also of equal importance. It is always a balancing act for the members of our reserve component, balancing family, work, and their military careers, and you've done so magnificently. Matthew, we are incredibly fortunate that you bring that passion for service and your unique perspective as a citizen soldier to the halls of this Pentagon. Thank you for your exceptional service, and congratulations, and a round of applause for Matthew. And last but not least, we have our Action Officer of the Year, Colonel Christopher Campbell. Christopher's wife, Melissa, is here today, and we welcome you. Their daughter, Charlotte, is currently at school right now, living on her sugar high from the weekend. We thank your family for supporting you and allowing you to do this extraordinary work. We call on you often to do these things. Christopher, you had a busy year, my friend. You claim to have more stories about your time on the Joint Staff than you've had for the previous 15 years as an experimental test pilot in our United States Air Force. And looking at what you and your team have accomplished over this past year, I can frankly see why. You've spent time on the Joint Staff navigating a different kind of high-G test environment. Your year began by preparing the new administration for critical talks on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Then came the seminal summit between our president and President Putin, a meeting your team took action on and supported around the clock over 5 historic days. 2 weeks later, you guys were again supporting a meeting for 6 heads of state at the White House. And even before that, before the dust could settle, you got my guidance to bring a conference together for 6 chiefs of defense, and you made it happen within 48 hours. And normally this takes 48 weeks to pull a chief of defense conference together, and you guys did it in 2 days. And when the Joint Force called upon you and your team for Operation Midnight Hammer, you were pulled into the lead of doing a critical analysis of what European access, basing, and overflight would do. Through it all, though, you brought a clarity and precision and focus on what the Russian threat would look like. You worked tirelessly and led your team to tirelessly work to support us with clarity and understanding on what that threat really looked like. The distance from you and your team to the Resolute desk in the Oval Office is incredibly short. The work of you and the leadership that you brought to this and your team has made a substantive difference for the nation's security. Thank you, Christopher, for your incredible service to the J5, to the Joint Force, and to our nation. And to Melissa, you and your family, thank you for supporting him, and a round of applause, please. Somebody has a cowbell out here. Good job. We always need a little bit more cowbell. What these four great leaders have accomplished over this last year is a simple but important snapshot in what the Joint Staff does for the Joint Force. You represent, each and every one of you, the finalists and the winners, the best our nation's military has to offer. It is incredibly humbling for the SEAC, the Vice Chairman, and I to be a part of your team. And as we sit today in this great space and honor the four of you, let us not forget those who are out there right now doing our nation's work in events like this weekend. Let's never forget our deployed forces and their family, particularly those in the Middle East. And let us always remember our fallen and their families who continue to show us what courage, tenacity, and bravery look like. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a final round of applause for our winners, and congratulations again.
Thank you, General Kane. SEAC Isom, please join the chairman on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that all nominees please rise to be recognized. Do be aware that each nominee will receive a certificate of commendation at a later time. And now for the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Directorate of Joint Force Development, the 2025 Joint Staff Enlisted Service Member of the Year, Staff Sergeant Jamil Zubir, United States Air Force. Staff Sergeant Zubir distinguished himself by meritorious service as NCOIC of Personnel Recovery, Strategic Plans, and Partnering Division, Joint Personnel Recovery Agency, the Joint Staff, from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. During this period, Staff Sergeant Zubir's exceptional leadership and analytical acumen significantly advanced the Department of the War's Personnel Recovery Mission. Staff Sergeant Zubir ensured unit cohesion as a sexual assault prevention response and suicide prevention facilitator, playing a vital role in maintaining both individual service member and overall organizational health. Additionally, he serves as the Unit Fitness Assessment Cell Leader, providing physical performance and body composition assessments for over 300 airmen assigned to the Joint Staff, ensuring readiness of the force in fitness standards. Staff Sergeant Zubir led a critical combatant command-level PR analyses, utilizing over 10,800 data points to highly key implications for the Joint Force, garnering praise from general officers across the services. Furthermore, he spearheaded a 3-star general directed initiative on prisoner of war and missing in action processes, conducting a meticulous mission analyses that culminated in key policy proposals to the Office of the Secretary of War. His recommendations directly synchronized operations, casualty accountability, and family support activities across the department. As the first American service member selected for the prestigious European Defense Agency's Joint PR Staff Course, his efforts directly enhanced joint force survivability, and strengthened crucial multinational partnerships. These accomplishments epitomize the attributes sought by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and set Staff Sergeant Zabir apart from his peers, earning recognition as the 2025 Enlisted Member of the Year. The distinctive accomplishments of Staff Sergeant Zabir reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Air Force, and the Joint Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Office of the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the 2025 Joint Staff Senior Enlisted Service Member of the Year, Senior Master Sergeant Megan Schutte, United States Air Force. Senior Master Sergeant Megan R. Schutte distinguished herself by meritorious achievement with her selection as the Joint Staff Senior Enlisted Member of the Year from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. During this period, she demonstrated exceptional impact as the Deputy Legislative Assistant for the Joint Staff, directly supporting the Directors of Operations and Intelligence in shaping congressional engagement strategies. She led all Joint Staff congressional engagements on Southcom, orchestrating 85 high-level briefings for House and Senate members, national security advisors, and professional staff members. In coordination with the Office of the Secretary of War and Department of State, she meticulously prepared the Vice Director of Operations, Deputy Director for Special Operations, and Legal Counsel to the Chairman to articulate the Department's position on sensitive Southern Command operations. Her efforts enabled critical legislative oversight and solidified trust with key partners. Additionally, she directly staffed and advised the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff alongside the Secretaries of War and Department of State as they briefed all members of Congress on Southern Command operations. Her efforts ensured the Joint Forces message was clearly conveyed and played a key role in shaping 6 War Powers resolutions introduced in Congress. The distinctive accomplishments of Senior Master Sergeant Schutte reflect great credit upon herself, the United States Air Force, and the Office of the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Directorate of Strategy, Plans and Policy, the 2025 Joint Staff Civilian Member of the Year, Mr. Matthew Gurniak. Mr. Matt J. Gurniak distinguished himself through exceptional and matchless service as the Deputy Branch Chief and Acting Branch Chief for Strategy Development, Joint Staff J5, from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. Mr. Gurniak expertly led 2 presidentially directed revisions to the 2024 Unified Command Plan, skillfully drafting and staffing the revisions across the Joint Force and the Office of the Secretary of War, culminating in presidential approval. He was the dedicated project lead for the most comprehensive review of the Unified Command Plan in decades. Mr. Gurniak masterfully led a diverse operational planning team of over 50 members, analyzing group-up options to enhance joint warfighting, agility, and decision advantage, despite a 2-month activation with the District of Columbia National Guard. He seamlessly resumed his duties, incorporating direct feedback from the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Joint Chiefs, and combatant commanders. His tireless dedication, sharp analyses, and unwavering leadership were instrumental in creating and refining products for senior leader decisions, including multiple briefings to the Secretary of War. The distinctive accomplishments of Mr. Gurniak reflect great credit upon himself, the Joint Staff, and the Department of War. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Directorate of Strategy, Plans and Policy, the 2025 Joint Staff Action Officer of the Year, Colonel Christopher Campbell, United States Air Force. Colonel Christopher C. Campbell distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service while serving as Action Officer and Deputy Division Chief, Russia-Ukraine and Eurasia Division, Joint Staff from January 2025 to December 2025. Lieutenant Campbell's strategic acumen and decisive leadership were instrumental during a year of unprecedented global crises. He shaped presidential-level decisions of the Russia-Ukraine war, coordinated European support to Middle East contingency operations, and led joint staff preparations for senior leader transitions, congressional engagements, and National Security Council deliberations. He was hand-selected to support the Middle East Africa Operational Planning Team during Operation Midnight Hammer, where his coordination of European access, basing, and overflight authorities enabled the elimination of Iran's nuclear weapons threat. He established the first chairman's support team for high-stake negotiations with Russia and orchestrated a Chiefs of Defense summit that produced the framework for multinational security guarantees for Ukraine. He further informed U.S. policy through detailed analyses of frozen Russian sovereign assets and led production of the chairman's weekly Russia-Ukraine update to the president. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication significantly advanced the U.S. national security objectives. The distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Campbell reflect great credit upon himself, the Joint Staff, and the Department of War. At this time, we ask that the annual award winners from all categories return to the stage for a group photo with the chairman and SEAC. This concludes today's ceremony. We invite you to join us in congratulating the award winners in the receiving line in front of the stage. To help maintain the flow of traffic, please queue along the center aisle, once signaled by a member of the protocol staff. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.